Hey guys, this is Anthony, the MMA and political analyst. Today we're going to talk about boxing. So we can consider this MMA, but it's actually referring specifically to boxing. And we'll talk about the Floyd fight last weekend. We have Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana, and this is going to go off into a whole nother tangent in a minute. But for right now, we'll just stick to the boxing part. I think Floyd. Well, we'll just go to the fight. Floyd actually had it taken to him early on in the fight. Maybe like the first 4 rounds, Marcos Maidana was able to pound Floyd Mayweather, had him up against the ropes, hitting him with the body, going low, going high, and actually had Floyd Mayweather backing up. But as we've seen with Floyd Mayweather, you kind of get the sense that he's not he's kind of doing that on purpose. Very similar to the way Anderson Silva did when he was during his rise to the UFC, where he would let his opponent early on start throwing punches, start throwing kicks, start to get working. And all the while, all that Anderson Silva would be doing is just gaining information. How fast is this person? How does this person's footwork look? How do they move? What do they do? What do they, what kind of little nuances do they give me before they throw a strike? That's all they're doing. And then Floyd does the exact same thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't getting it taken to him early on in the fight, because he was, but during that time, Floyd Mayweather's thinking like, okay, yeah, I see what this guy's got now. I see how he throws his punches. I see how hard he hits. I see how he moves. And so next time, I'm ready to counter this stuff. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. I mean, right around that 5th round or so, a huge turnaround. Okay, Floyd starts to uh, tag Marcos Maidana with these nice jabs, straight every once in a while, gets the heck out of the way, and tags him up on the outside. And then, Maidana gets a little frustrated, comes in hard with all these crazy hooks and swinging hard for the fences. Floyd's in and out, missing the punches. And then if Maidana does connect, usually Floyd is kind of rolling away from the punches, so they really hit with kind of limited impact. And that's what he does, and that's what he's done to almost all these opponents he's fought recently. It's like watching the same fight over and over and over again. This is what he does. But for some reason, people are still claiming that Floyd lost, all over the internet. People are, oh, Floyd lost. What? Guys, look, boxing is very easy. Not to do, obviously, but to kind of figure out. MMA, on the other hand, is extremely hard to figure out in terms of watching and judging. Think about it. If you MMA, if you take somebody down and you get in somebody's guard and you don't do anything, maybe you just kind of pepper a little body strikes and maybe pepper a little head, but not actual full extension punches. You're just tapping. The person on bottom, on the other hand, is constantly working for submissions. They're trying to get high guard. They're throwing up a triangle every once in a while. Maybe they're grabbing onto the arm, trying to get an arm bar, trying to sit up to sweep or sit up to get a Kimura, something like that, right? And the person on top is constantly defending these submission attempts and these sweep attempts by the guy on bottom. Who's actually winning that? You could say, well, the person on top. He took the fight where he wanted to go by getting the person on his back and maintain a dominant top position the entire time. Or you could say, no, 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 no. The person on bottom, because they were grappling better. They were using their skills. They were being aggressive, trying to submit the opponent, and the opponent was forced to defend. And so that way, I think the person on bottom was winning. That argument in MMA is going to go on forever. There's no easy solution to that problem. But in boxing, you don't really have all that, right? It's just you either hit the guy or you don't. And you can go back and look at the stats and say, well, this person hit this person this many times, and this person hit this person that many times. And along the way, this person got dropped once, or this person got blasted with 2 left hooks, real nasty like. The other person was stumbling around, rocked. And it's fairly easy to figure out who wins and who loses. And so this is no different. I mean, after Floyd Mayweather had the first rough few rounds, he turned it around and was able to hit Marcos Maidana more than Marcos Maidana was able to hit him. Significantly more. That's it. I mean, that's the end of the story, guys. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, Marcos, you could tell, was getting frustrated and would start throwing these huge hooks. And Floyd would just, roll out of the way or do that whole. It's funny. They always tell you in boxing not to do that, not to lean back and put your chin up. You see Floyd do it all the time. Damn it. Anyway, because he's extremely athletic and very fast, so he can kind of get away with that. Um, and so he was able to avoid all these, big power punches by Marcos Maidana. And then later on, getting into like 10th, 11th, 12th round, you could tell Marcos Maidana has slowed down significantly. He was kind of, I don't want to say gassed, but he was getting there, very tired. And Floyd was still looking fresh as usual. That's just what he does. And I think Floyd clearly won the fight. Although one of the judges' scorecards did tie it up at I think 114, 114. I don't think that would have been a complete travesty of justice had that fight been a draw, but I would not have agreed with it. But if one judge scored it a draw, okay, I'm all right with that. But either way, Floyd definitely did not lose this fight. Now, of course, Marcos Maidana's corner and their team is saying, oh, we want a rematch because we think that our guy won. Well, of course they're saying that. It's their guy. They're biased. But as far as everybody else jumping on the bandwagon of this thing, that's ridiculous. Which leads me to my next tangent. Floyd Mayweather is probably the most hated person in all of sports. The most high-paid person in sports, definitely, but definitely up there as one of the most hated. And I think, I'll say this. I don't like Floyd. I really don't. Like, I see all the all access shows, and he's driving around in his car. I mean, this guy's like, this guy seriously drives a $1 million Bugatti from like his house to the gym, and then has somebody else drive the other $1 million Bugatti behind it just to do it. I mean, look, again, I'm not necessarily hating. I mean, I think it's kind of stupid. Like, I think, like, if you're gonna buy a car like that, or if you're gonna buy a Ferrari or something like that, I just think that you should buy it for a reason. Like, okay, you take it out to the track and you go racetrack driving or whatever. If you're just gonna buy a freaking Bugatti just to drive it back and forth to the gym, come on, dude. But again, that's him. That's what he does. I don't like it. But I'm not using that as like my reason why I want him to lose. Like, oh, I can't believe he drives around in two cars. I want to see him get knocked out, right? But for the most part, I think that's what drives the hatred against him. He throws all this stuff in your face and says all these flamboyant things. And he's got throwing money around. He's just being arrogant. But honestly, I think he's doing you the way he does those guys when he's boxing. Like, he's got you trolled, right? And so you hate him so much that you're willing to pay $60 for a pay-per-view, $7 for a pay-per-view to watch him lose, and he just keeps on winning. And so when the next fight comes, you're going to pay another $70 to watch him lose, and it's not going to happen. And you'll keep doing it. You'll keep doing it over and over and over again until you get it figured out, right? Or until he loses, which, is a possibility. And I think that is a complete personification of everything that is wrong with America. That's a bold statement, isn't it? But it is. I think it's the personification of everything that's wrong with America. Think about it. What has Floyd done? I mean, isn't this country all about, oh, hard work, work hard, you'll be successful, work hard, work. Now, for most of us, 90% of the population, if not more, hard work means, yeah, great, you make $50,000 a year. Ooh, right? That's all hard work's going to get you. $50,000 a year, and maybe you'll get a retirement. That's not even guaranteed, right? And so you're told from when you're a young age, work. You can be rich. You can be famous. And that's what he did. Now, he has a particular skill that none of us have, right? So, of course, he gets paid way more than we do, not even on the same scale. But that's how he made it. He didn't really hurt anybody, except for that whole spousal abuse thing. Different story. But, he didn't, like, destroy anything or pollute the environment or kill anybody to get where he's at. He just did what he does. He boxes. I may not like the guy personally, like, if I wouldn't want to be his friend, but I'm not going to hate on him for that. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what life's all about. Isn't that what we preach in this country? Work, 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 and you'll be rich, 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 and you'll get everything you want. Well, he got it. I don't see why we hate on him. And here comes the kicker here. And this is we're gonna transition into politics now. Okay, that makes everybody happy. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, you guys know who the Koch brothers are, right? If you're a liberal and you're watching this show, I'm sure you've heard of the Koch brothers. If you're conservative, well, maybe you've heard of them too, because you're probably getting money from them one way or the other. But these guys have got more money by several orders of magnitude more than Floyd Mayweather. Not even in the same league as Floyd Mayweather. They laugh at like Floyd Mayweather to them is like a little minimum wage worker. Like, who is this little this little peon here? Who's this guy with this little $300 million? So these guys spent almost as much money in the 2012 election, just on that election alone, than Floyd Mayweather has money. I mean, they spent something around like what I think estimates up to $200 million on the 2012 election. $200 million. I think Floyd's worth like somewhere between 300 and 400 million. So these guys spent almost as much money on campaign donations as Floyd Mayweather has money, period. Right? And what do they spend their money on? You think they spend money to help you out? No. These guys spend money to continue to pollute the environment, to continue to have low pay, to not give people health care, to try to gut Social Security. Also, they can continue to enrich themselves and continue to. I'm sorry, let me even continue to get lower taxes for themselves. Not me and you, of course. Lower taxes on themselves, and I'll just leave it there for right now. But that's what they're doing, so they can enrich themselves, so they can get more money. In Detroit, for example, I'm not sure if they even resolved the situation, but the Koch brother, one of their little subsidiary companies, has an oil drilling byproduct called petcoke, I think it's called, and there's this huge toxic stash of it right there on the Detroit River in Detroit. Huge just pile of this toxic chemical, these toxic material. It's making the local people sick. It's it's corroding the local environment. And the city of Detroit has been like, hey guys, you guys need to get rid of this crap like right now. And they've been in a kind of back and forth legal battle with one of these Coke industry companies. And like whatever they're doing is at least theoretically legal, right? Because they've been able to manipulate the government through these campaign donations to get what they want. Why? So they can just make more money. So these guys are actually hurting people and destroying the planet and along the way, just so they can make more money, as if they don't have enough already. They've got like $30 billion or so each, right? They've got so much money, it's insane, right? But who do we hate in this country? Who do we hate? We hate Floyd, and we're willing to pay money to watch him lose. Isn't that sad, man? Isn't that sad? We're gonna pay to watch a guy who just as easily could have been us, right? Just as easily could have been just a normal everyday person who just got lucky and just made it off of just working hard and doing their thing. That could have been us. Now, granted, not all of us would, indulge to the level that he does, and just living like a crazy person, all this money and walking around with $1 million in your pocket and all that crap. Not all of us would have done that, no. But we could have just as easily made it just off normal stuff that we can all do. But we hate him for doing that. We hate Floyd for doing that. Do we hate the Koch brothers? No. I mean, if you're a liberal and you're like all politically active and all that, like I am, yeah, you do what you got to do to try to take down the Koch brothers and expose them. But for the general population, they don't know. They don't care about it. They don't know who the Koch brothers are. They don't care. And that's what I'm saying, man. That is what's wrong with America. And so I hate to bring the sports MMA stuff into politics, but at some point they inevitably will merge together. So I apologize for that if you didn't want to get into the politics today, but I would hope you'd consider that next time you want to hate on Floyd Mayweather. I mean, does he pollute the environment? Is he, you know, manipulating our government by paying off politicians? No. So just keep things in perspective. How about that? Anyway, Anthony, MMA political analyst, I'll talk to you.